Hi there. Welcome back to the second episode of the Dark Muse podcast. And the Dark Muse is wearing pink today. Feels counterintuitive, doesn't it? Well, good, because I'm here to shatter your limiting beliefs on your way back to your authentic self. Let's fucking start. I want to start telling you a little bit more about myself and where I'm coming from, so you get to know me better and you get to learn the concepts that helped me throughout my spiritual journey. I was born in Cheboksary, Russia. You've probably never heard of it. If you are curious, you can open Google Maps, find Moscow, and keep scrolling to the east, just a little bit, along the river Volga. So you will find a small city called Cheboksary. The way I like to describe Cheboksary is that we are right on the line where European part of Russia ends and some weird shamanic stuff begins. There is even the second language in that region, which I personally don't speak, even though I was learning it for years in school. But because nobody from my family speaks that language, I just never practiced it and I never learned it properly. But don't get the wrong idea, I was not born in a family of Cheboksarian shamans. I was born in a family of an engineer and an accountant. And from an early age, I always felt different than other kids. For example, in kindergarten, I remember that I would always prefer to play by myself, to make up my own games and activities, rather than be involved with a group of kids that were the same age as me. And that continued throughout my entire life. That doesn't mean that I wasn't social, that doesn't mean that I didn't have friends, but I just always felt like I didn't fit in, or I didn't belong, or I was meant to be different and to be creating something new and something else and to be building my own communities. I started reading Harry Potter when I was 11, and one of my dreams was to attend the School of Magic. And I was waiting for that letter from Hogwarts to arrive. And I actually did go to a School of Magic, but way later on. And I'll be talking about it in one of the next episodes. But coming back to my childhood, I was really interested in something that will prove to me that there is way more beyond the material world. When I was 4, my mother sent me to preschool courses to start learning English. And I'm extremely grateful for that. And when I was 5, my parents took me to ballroom dance classes. And I ended up doing ballroom dance professionally until I went to college. On top of that, my parents sent me to school 1 year earlier than most kids go in Russia. So I was only 6 years old when I went to the first grade. Fast forward 10 years, I ended up graduating high school with honors and getting accepted to the best law school of Russia, Moscow State University, tuition free, which was a dream come true, but it was not my dream. It was my mom's dream. I never wanted to be a lawyer. When I graduated high school, I was 16. And in Russia, you have to choose your major before you apply to college. Basically, at 16 years old, I had to make a choice about my future career. I was always attracted to storytelling, so I wanted to consider journalism. But my mom steered me towards the law school. When you get accepted to the best law school, it's really hard to convince your parents that this is not what you want to do. So I ended up going to that school, which I do not regret after all, because I prefer to see positive in every single experience I had to go through. But at a time, it didn't feel right. I ended up moving to Moscow at the age of 16 to go to college. And my parents moved with me because my mother couldn't imagine letting her 16-year-old daughter move to a big city by herself and being unattended. As you probably start realizing, I grew up with a very strict mother that always had to be in control of my life. But by the time I went to college, I was so tired of being a good girl that I rebelled. I said, I don't want to be an A-plus student in the program that wasn't my choice to begin with. So I started exploring other areas of life, and I finally started dating my first year of college. I met my first love, and I got my first romantic relationship that lasted almost 3 years. This is Jon Snow, by the way, and this is his sister Tigra. They are from the same litter, even though they look completely different. So these guys are my family. They've been with me for 9 years, and you'll be seeing them and hearing them a lot throughout this podcast. After the 4th year of my law school, I decided to go to the United States as an exchange student for the summer. And let me tell you, going away by myself to another continent for such an extended period of time made a huge difference in my life, because it made me realize that I am not the person that my mother wants me to be. It was a huge wake-up call. I realized that I don't really like the things that my mother wants me to like. I don't even like the way I dress up, because this is not me. This is who I am forced to be. And I'm living someone else's life, which means that I am not authentic at all. That summer in the United States was one of the happiest times of my life, even though I was working in a hotel as a housekeeper. Yes, I was cleaning the rooms, and it was not 4 seasons. It was a small hotel on Cape Cod in Massachusetts. I was getting paid very little. The owner of the hotel was stealing the majority of my tips. I was renting a room with 2 other Russian girls that I met not long after I arrived. My transportation was my bicycle that I bought for $30 from someone on Craigslist. Regardless of all that, that summer was the happiest summer of my life. Which brings me to the most important thought that I want to share with you. Nothing in life has the ability to make you happier than truly being yourself. You can go to the best law school and be one step away from embarking on a career that many dream about. You can look glamorous and classy. But if you're not showing up as your true self, None of this external stuff will make you happy. In my case, cleaning the toilets in the cheap hotel and living with 2 other girls in the same room was making me way happier. Our childhoods and the way we are raised plays a major role in our adulthood. There are 2 types of information that is being communicated to us as we grow up: objective and subjective. Here are some of the examples of objective information. It could be laws of physics, or mathematics, or some geographical information, and so on. And when it comes to subjective, those are personal opinions and beliefs that we receive from our parents, our teachers in school, and the whole educational system, our friends, and the people that we interact with daily, and society in general. When we are little, we're not able to differentiate between the subjective and objective, and we tend to trust everything that we hear. And when someone communicates their personal opinions to us as a rules of life, they tend to settle down in our subconscious mind, and whether or not we notice it, they keep affecting our life moving forward. I refer to those as limiting beliefs. You may have heard sentences like, you need to have a degree from that specific college to build your dream career, or you need to look flawless in order to attract the right partner, or you need to work really hard to become wealthy, and so on. Those are someone else's opinions that don't have to define your own truth. When people believe in something, they will continuously find proof of that in situations that unfold in their life, because our thoughts create our reality. And when you continuously receive proof of something that you believe in, your mind establishes that that's a fact, even though it's a fact just for you. What if I told you the following? Mastering your mindset and your skills will lead you to building your dream career. Being authentic will attract the right partner who will love you for who you are. Working on something that you're passionate about will bring you wealth. Don't you think those versions of beliefs sound healthier and more optimistic and inviting you to the land of opportunities instead of the land of restrictions? So I invite you to start noticing what limiting beliefs you have. Start questioning, is this something I truly believe in? Or is this something I was told to believe in? Is this something that is coming from my heart and it feels just right? Or is this something that is coming from my mind and my fear? Notice how your body is feeling when you think about certain belief of yours. As we start walking through 2025, which I believe will be an amazing year, I truly do. I can feel it in my body. I encourage you to start becoming an observer of yourself and the way you think. Start noticing those limiting beliefs you're still holding on to and start writing them down to have a clear picture of where you stand right now. The first step to making a change is an honest look at where you are right now. What is the starting point? Do not be afraid to go there. This is the biggest step, the hardest one towards change. To become so damn honest with yourself. Don't be afraid to take a look at your life. We are usually terrified of something that we don't see. And the moment you take a look at it, it doesn't scare you anymore. So give yourself a gift of removing that fear. Once you identify a limiting belief that you're still holding on to, I encourage you to rewrite it to a healthier version that will serve you better. Just like I did with examples that I offered you earlier. And really start practicing it. Every time you catch yourself telling the same old bullshit that doesn't serve you anymore, you pause and you think differently. And you speak to yourself differently. And from that moment, you will start noticing how the way you feel will change. And as a result, the way things are unfolding in your life will change too. The way you're feeling is impacting your life. You do create your own reality from what you think and what you feel in the moment. So take that responsibility. Claim that power back. Because it's yours by birthright. As you will start shattering your limiting beliefs, be prepared that things around you will start changing. And I believe they will start changing rapidly. With the speed of this year's energies, it's going to be a fast process. Confirmation. You find yourself in a situation where your friendships start to fall apart, where people start living your life one way or another. Your relationships will start changing. Your circle will start changing. You may have to say goodbye to some people as you start going through this journey. If people start exiting your life because you are finally becoming the real you, let them go. Those people only benefited from you being comfortable for them. Your true friends, the people that truly love you, will support you through this process. They will encourage you to follow your heart and get closer to your true essence. If that person decided to walk away because you are finally moving in the right direction of embracing who you are, that person is not meant to be in your next chapter. So do not hold on to them. If you're not comfortable being yourself, you might be in the wrong company. If you cannot speak your truth, you might be in the wrong company. Things might start feeling weird. And that's okay. It's a process. It's a journey. So enjoy it. Things will start breaking down around you, and embrace it. Let it burn if you have to, so you can build the new solid foundation for yourself and your future. The foundation that no one will be able to take away from you. It is worth it. It feels so empowering. That did happen to me after my exchange program was over and I returned to Moscow to finish the last year of law school. I came back, but I never truly came back. It felt like I was physically back, but mentally I wasn't. I felt very disconnected from my environment, people that I used to call friends, my family. I didn't even return to a proper time zone. My schedule was completely messed up. It felt like I got stuck somewhere over Atlantic Ocean. I used to go to sleep at 4 in the morning and I would wake up at midday. It was a big indicator for me that I don't see myself living here. I don't see this place as my future because I want to be who I am. And the only way I can see it happening in the near future is if I find a way to get as far from here as possible. With all love and respect to my mother, I just really needed to get away from her to be able to become myself. So I ended up running away. And up to this day, it was the best decision of my life. I want to take a moment to reconnect with that version of me, that 21-year-old Sasha, that took this leap of faith of stepping into the unknown, of abandoning everything that she worked on up to that moment, everything that she has built up to that moment, letting go of that old identity and taking that big step into rediscovering who she truly is. I don't know where that bravery came from, but I had zero doubts that I was making the right choice. I followed my heart and I followed my intuition to bring myself across the ocean. Change takes bravery. Change takes courage. And I believe if you're here listening or watching this podcast, you are brave enough to take that step. If your soul guided you here, you are ready. I do not believe in coincidences. We always find the right resources when we are ready. The informational field around you will always bring you the message that you need to hear right at this moment. And it's up to you. Are you going to take that leap of faith? Or are you going to remain stuck? The choice is yours and yours only. Because we all do have the power of free will. You're not a victim of circumstances. The circumstances are here to navigate you back to self-love, to show you what needs to change for your life to become easier and happier and more joyful. Universe is not here to punish you. It's here to shower you with love. And the only roadblock that stops you from that is your mindset. So start retraining your mind the same way you train your body in the gym. It takes discipline and consistency. But if you stick to it, you will see the results. I also want to take a moment to thank all of you who reached out to me after my first episode with your feedback and sharing how much what I said resonated with you and how much it hit the spot. I'm very happy that I'm able to help. And I do encourage you to get in touch and share the experiences you're going through, or send me your questions. You can email me at the Dark Muse podcast at gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is Sasha Davidkina. You will find the links in this episode's description. You've got your homework. Please, please, please start noticing the way you think about yourself and your life, and start rewriting those limiting beliefs into your own powerful affirmations. I'm wishing you a fantastic day, evening, or night, depending on when you are watching or listening to this. It's quite cold today, so I'm about to go see a movie with my girlfriends. I love you. I appreciate you. And I believe in you. I'll see you next time.